When you look at the people who grow the most in life, you'll notice something strange. It's not always the smartest, the most talented, or even the ones with the most opportunities. Not the ones who grow are the ones who dare, the ones who risk embarrassment, failure, rejection, the ones who step into the unknown with trembling hands but a steady heart. Courage is the spark. Without it, growth never ignites. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back? Not because you didn't know what to do, but because you were afraid of how it might end. Fear whispers, stay safe, stay comfortable, but growth never happens in comfort. Growth demands that you walk into the storm, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. And here's the truth most people don't realize. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acting while you're afraid. If you wait until fear leaves, you'll wait forever. But the moment you choose courage, something shifts, you expand. The world grows bigger because you decided to step beyond the walls you built around yourself. Now let me give you a reason to keep watching. In the next moments, we're going to break down why courage doesn't just change where you do, it changes who you are. If you stay with me, you'll see how courage becomes the very fuel that powers your strength, your resilience, and your destiny. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Every great transformation begins not with certainty, but with courage. Let's be real. Most people think growth is about knowledge, reading more books, stacking up degrees, or gathering endless information. But here's the hard truth. Knowledge without courage is useless. What good is knowing what to do if fear keeps you from doing it? Imagine this, you're standing on the edge of a cliff with a parachute strapped to your back. You know the parachute works, you studied it, practiced folding it, even watched others jump. But none of that knowledge matters until you take the leap. Growth is exactly like that. It requires a jump, and that jump is courage. Here's where it gets interesting. Courage isn't only about big dramatic moments, quitting your job, starting a business, or moving across the world. No, sometimes courage is quiet. Sometimes it's telling the truth when lying would be easier. Sometimes it's standing up for yourself when you're used to staying silent. Sometimes it's looking in the mirror and admitting you need to change. And here's something powerful. Every act of courage, no matter how small, plants a seed of growth. Each time you choose courage, you expand your capacity to handle life. You become stronger, wiser, more resilient. And that strength compounds. Just like money grows when interest, courage grows with action. But let me ask you, how many opportunities have you let pass by? Not because you couldn't, but because you wouldn't. How many doors closed while you stood outside, paralyzed by the thought of rejection? If that stings a little good, it means you're ready to see the truth. Fear has been your prison. But courage is the key. Let's flip the lens for a second. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who inspire you, the ones who make you believe more is possible. At some point, every single one of them faced a wall. Fear, doubt, uncertainty, it was all there. The difference is they chose courage over comfort. They weren't born with more confidence. They weren't handed a magical guarantee that things would work out. They stepped forward anyway, and that decision to act despite fear became the turning point in their growth. Now let's bring it closer to home. Maybe you've been holding back. You've got a dream that keeps knocking on your heart, but you've convinced yourself the timing isn't right. Maybe you're waiting until you feel ready. But here's the truth. Waiting to feel ready is the fastest way to waste your life. Growth doesn't wait for readiness. Growth happens when you leap, even with shaky legs. Courage fuels growth because it forces you to stretch. And every time you stretch, you create a new version of yourself, one who's capable of handling more than the old you ever could. That's why challenges exist. They're not punishments, They're invitations to grow through courage. But here's the paradox: courage doesn't always feel like power in the moment. It often feels like vulnerability, like you're exposed and unprotected. Yet, that exact vulnerability is what cracks you open to transformation. Without it, you stay the same. With it, you evolve. So the real question isn't, do you have courage? The real question is, will you choose it? Because growth is waiting on the other side of that choice. Let's go even deeper. Courage doesn't just change your actions, it rewires your identity. Every time you choose courage, you're sending a message to yourself. I am someone who moves forward. I am someone who grows. And over time, that becomes your story. Think about it. The opposite is also true. Every time you choose fear, you're telling yourself, I can't. I'm not enough. I'll stay where it's safe. That story chains you to mediocrity. Which story are you reinforcing daily, the one of courage or the one of fear? Now, let's connect this to growth. Growth is not linear. It's messy, uncomfortable, unpredictable. But that's exactly why courage is required. If growth were easy, everyone would level up effortlessly. But the reason so many people stay stuck is because they underestimate the price of growth. They want transformation without tension, change without challenge, progress without pressure. But life doesn't work that way. Diamonds are made under pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. And character is forged in the fires of courage. Here's a secret. The areas of your life where you feel the most fear right now are often the exact areas where the greatest growth is awaiting. The conversation you're avoiding, that's where growth lives. The risk you're hesitating to take, that's the path to expansion. The decision you keep postponing, that's the door to your next level. If you lean into fear with courage, you'll find your breakthrough. If you run from fear, you'll stay the same. And deep down, you already know you weren't made to stay the same. So here we are. We've pulled back the curtain, seeing the truth. Growth isn't built on comfort, talent, or even knowledge. Growth is built on courage. It's the decision to stand tall when fear tells you to shrink. It's the choice to leap when your legs shake. It's the whisper inside that says, I will not stay small. And the beautiful thing is this: courage isn't reserved for the special few. It's available to you right now, in this very moment. Every decision, every opportunity, every challenge you face is an invitation to practice courage. The more you choose it, the more you grow. But don't miss this: courage is a daily practice. It's not something you summon once and forget. It's the way you carry yourself into every battle, big or small. And each time you act with courage, it unlocks a deeper strength within. That strength fuels your growth, your resilience, and your destiny. So let me ask you, what's the one area of your life right now that demands courage? Where do you need to stop waiting, stop hiding, and finally step forward? Don't run from that question. Sit with it, answer it, then act, because your future self is begging you to move. And if you want to keep building that inner fire, don't stop here. Watch our next video, How to Master Your Mind, where we'll dive into how to reprogram your brain and build unshakable self-discipline, drawing wisdom from the mindset of thinkers like Marcus Aurelius. This is Wisdom Recorder, your knowledge source. If today's message hit home, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and share this with someone who needs courage today. Because growth is contagious. When you rise, others rise with you.